side effects, let's say, from tourism. While we do generate revenue from the tourists, there are a lot of side effects. They pollute our beaches. Crime increases, and we're such a small island that we're unable to kind of handle that sort of impact. So 1,500 passengers would actually be well beyond what we can handle.
Yeah, I heard that I think you can accommodate at least 700 passengers per day. That is my belief is. So what I'm suggesting that we can make 2 days trip, and we can let 700 passengers to get on the island very first day, and remaining 700 can get down the next day. So in that way we can accommodate at least 1,400 passengers per day, and at the same time people who are going to stay on the ship, your local people can come to the ship and do some kind of business to the people who are going to stay on the ship. At the same time, the people who are getting down to the island, they will spend some money to the island, and that will generate additional income. So, and we can help you to change any infrastructure if you want to get that 700 passenger down onto the island. And that visit will be 1 day visit, so they will get down at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they have to go back to the ship again in the night time by 8 p.m. So there will be less problem for the crimes because they will be back on the ship, and they will be able to enjoy the daytime visit to the island.
Let's see. Is still a lot. Let's see. So you're proposing that they don't stay overnight on our island. Instead, you bring 700 visitors 1 day.
1 day and 700 the next day.
And they'll come back to the ship at night,
Yeah.
and then you'll bring 700 the next day.
Other passengers, yeah. Because it will be hard to accommodate 1,400 at one time, because there is no infrastructure that has developed to accommodate 1,400 at one time. So, because we cannot operate the cruise ship with very few passengers who come to the island. So whatever number of the passenger is on the cruise, they will like to get down. So, but I mean, we will try to accommodate like 700 plus 700, 1,400 passenger.
Yeah.
So everybody has a opportunity to visit tropical island. Yeah.
So the problem with that is that let me tell you what the problem with 700 is that I'm not sure our island can accommodate that. 700 passengers for a day visit is quite a bit. It's quite a bit. I mean, we were looking more at 300. 300 passengers a day, our island could easily accommodate, actually. And there won't be long lines. There won't be waiting for disembarkation. There will be the ability to. Everyone will have kind of. If we had 300, which would be ideal, which you guys may want more of, if we had 300, we'd be able to properly accommodate them with such a small size of our island. Let's see.
But I mean, if you take a look economically, it will not be possible to bring very few passengers over there. Then I mean, it is not worthwhile for us to make a stop as a company. On that destination. So we both can work together. If you need some help to develop more infrastructure, we will help you to develop that, and we can work together.
Okay. So then if we were proposing say 700, which I'm not sure if we can even accommodate, you guys would be willing to build, for example, a visitor center?
Visitor centers,
that could
then put small boats to offload the passengers. And we can put some infrastructure.
That way maybe of the 700, only 300 would really venture out into the town, and the remaining maybe you guys can build some sort of visitor center, like adjacent on the island, so that you can ferry some people. So some would choose just to kind of
But I think there are a lot of activities on the island, so all of them will not go to the same activity at one time. So because some people can go to the beaches, some people can go to hiking, some people can go for different activities. So those 700 will be divided among different things. So I'm sure they will be easily accommodated once we start this process.
Hmm.
I suggest, I think you take this to your councils in the city and present to them, and I'm sure they will be agreed for those number of passengers. Yeah.
So, and how many visits in the year did you want?
I will prefer to have a 12 visit, but we can negotiate that, and I can take like 9 visit maybe instead of 12.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, I can tell you right off the bat, 700 can only be accommodated if Island Cruise was willing to build a visitor center strictly for your passengers that would be, on the island, and, they would have their own, beach loungers on the island, they would have their own little activities as well, because that would require some sort of development contract with Island Cruise as well, on the island.
Okay, yeah, we can build some visitor centers, we can build some restaurant inside there.
Yeah, right.
And we will let local people to run those.
Sure.
There will be more opportunity for employment for them, and it will help both of us.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
We can do that. Now, this is with the understanding that 700 would be returning to the ship that day, and then the next day another
new
Okay.
passengers will.
Because overnight visits we cannot accommodate, and if you guys wanted to do overnight accommodations, then we would talk about
I
hotel.
understand that, yeah, your
Okay.
island is not ready
Right.
for overnight accommodation at present.
Right.
Yeah.
So then that begs the next negotiating issue, which is the number of visits. Okay. So this issue strictly impacts our resources and our natural resources of the island. A ship coming, 12 times a year, even 9 times a year, creates extremely hazardous conditions in our, natural habitat, our coral reef, and we have to limit that because we have some conservative members of the council who would not agree to allow, to be honest, even more than 4 visits. But seeing as more visits does generally increase our economy, we have a very delicate line that we're balancing between, again, getting more revenue in our economy and keeping the pristine nature of the land. If you guys are willing to agree to 6 visits, we can then give you if you guys are willing to do 6 visits a year, we are willing to sign an exclusivity with your cruise ship and no one else. So, because 6 days is kind of the max that we would like to have a cruise ship dock on our island, and 6 visits will, since that's the max we would like a cruise ship to dock on our island, we're not willing to do more than that. We'll give you all 6 visits instead of even talking to another cruise ship. All 6 visits will go to your cruise ship. And remember, 6 visits is still 12 days because we have 2 days each visit. And then that can sort of create an agreement where you guys visit 6 times per year, 2 days each visit, but no one will have to stay on the island overnight because we have no hotel accommodations. That'll allow us to then accommodate double the number of passengers that we were originally able to if we had a 1-day visit.
Yeah.
And what that'll also do is it'll increase revenues on your cruise ship because the participants, the cruise visitors, one of the days they'll be spending money on your cruise ship.
ships.
That actually
will be good,
will work out for you guys as well.
But I will suggest maybe, I think, why don't you present to your council at least 8 visits per year, and let us see, because we want to do such a thing that it is financially feasible for our cruise